So Pete Buttigieg has been claiming that he doesn't support free public college because he doesn't want to pay for the kids of millionaires and billionaires to go to school. Now, this is a completely dishonest thing to say. This is actually a Republican talking point, a conservative talking point. I broke down in a video last week how Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez completely exposed how BS Pete Buttigieg's argument is, essentially saying that rich kids can attend a public school. So why would public college be different? We don't cut rich kids out of public school. We don't ban rich kids from other public services like firefighters or libraries. She also talked about how most wealthy kids go to Ivy League schools anyway, and they don't go to public college. So again, free public college means there's a free public college in every state. It doesn't mean you go to Harvard for free. It means there's a free public college option. That's what free public college means. Pete Buttigieg is against that. Bernie Sanders is for that. Another aspect of why it's great. Universal programs are tougher to dismantle, and it's also good for classrooms to be socioeconomically integrated. So to have people that come from wealthy families going to the same school as people that come from poor families, it's good for the culture to have that. So Pete Buttigieg is against free public college. So let me show you his the first. So he put this in an ad initially that I showed in a different video last week, but then he was asked about this, and this is how he defended himself.
I just think rich people ought to be able to pay their own tuition. I have nothing against them. I just think that if you're in a position to pay full freight, then you should. And I'm also concerned about a narrative emerging that ignores the fact that not everybody goes to college. This is not the same thing as K through 12. This is not the same thing as Social Security, because college is not for everybody. Now, I want everybody who wants to go to college to have the chance. I want to make sure cost is never a barrier. But where I come from, 3 out of 4 people don't have a college degree. And if the message we're sending to them is that you need a college degree in order to get by in life, in order to prosper, in order to succeed, we're leaving most Americans out. And I think they're just missing that very important fact. I very much agree with the part about raising funds from the wealthy, just not in agreement about spending it on the wealthy in the case of college tuition when they can very well pay their own way, and I think they should.
So dishonest. Again, free public college is a free public college option. Rich people largely go to Ivy League schools anyway, but there'd be the free option there. This would have huge benefits for the vast majority of people. Now, look at how Bernie Sanders, because he was questioned about this on Chris Hayes' show. Here is how Bernie Sanders responded to Pete Buttigieg's lies on free college.
What do you say to that argument that there's no reason to pay for people who can pay full freight?
Well, I say Buttigieg is wrong on both counts. Number one, of course, when we talk about making higher education, public colleges and universities tuition free, we mean not only college, but we mean trade schools as well. There are millions of good jobs out there in construction and all kinds of areas where people are good at working with their hands. They don't want to go to college. And of course, we are going to make tuition free for those people. So what he's saying is not accurate. Second of all, there is the issue of universality. I'm very glad that Mr. Buttigieg is worried that I have been too easy on upper income people and the millionaires and billionaires, that I'm going to allow their kids to go to public colleges and universities. Just, by the way, as they do go to public schools right now. Trump's kids can go to any public school, elementary school, high school in the country, tuition free. But the point is, I happen to believe that when you talk about programs like Social Security, like health care, like higher education, they should be universal. The way you pay for them, and the way I do it, not the way Buttigieg does it, is I do demand that at a time of massive income and wealth inequality, that the very rich will start paying their fair share of taxes, as will corporate America. You pay for it by raising revenue from the very rich, but then you say in a very simple way that any person who wants a higher education, college, trade school should be able to do it. You know, right now, that's what we do with Social Security. It is a popular program. It is a universal program.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC.
There you go. Bernie addressed that perfectly. So, I mean, this idea that free public college is somehow crazy when taxes are used to pay for society. roads, bridges, libraries, schools, firefighters, healthcare, hopefully. The idea is that there should be a base level that we all get to enjoy. There should be a base level of living that we all have. That's what it's about. So this idea that, I mean, if Buttigieg is going to argue that why are people paying, or why do you want a plan that where you pay for the college of kids of millionaires and billionaires, then shouldn't he also be arguing that rich kids shouldn't be going to public school either? He should also be arguing that we should be tearing rich kids out of public school, because why should I be paying for rich kids to go to public school? Like, that's the same argument. And how dumb does that sound? So Pete Buttigieg is being completely dishonest because he has a ton of corporate backers, a ton of wealthy backers. His entire platform is not his own platform. It's a platform devised by special interest. That's all it is. So, I mean, look, a lot is being made of Buttigieg's growth in his support, but really it's only the first 2 states because he's pouring a ton of money into those states. And any other support he's gaining is because the media keeps talking about him like he's gaining all this support when it's all being manufactured. So he may be raising in the polls, but there's nothing there. There's nothing to him. Any moment that can be used to poke holes into Pete Buttigieg, whether it's his record, which is also horrible, or his platform, which, as you see, is ridiculous, then it should be done. This is what needs to be focused on. Pete Buttigieg is a horrible candidate. So the more we see of these kinds of attacks on Buttigieg, the better.